I don't know. I'm a plain guy. No tattoos.
There's nothing wrong with that, though.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. I like both.
Yo, shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for liking. Thank you guys for subscribing. It's your boy Broly Gaines, and we are live on Do Something Podcast. And of course, I got my brother from another mother over here.
Coco Pump, aka just smash that subscribe button. Don't smash my girl.
No.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Yo, stop, bro.
No.
Stop.
Smash everything that you're attracted to, especially Coco Pump's girl.
Yo, bro. Stop playing with me, bro.
And we have some beautiful guests here tonight. Let's start from my left-hand side. You guys already know Miss Opal over here. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Opal, aka at I'm Your Fascination on Instagram and YouTube.
Let's go. And where you from, Opal?
I'm originally from the Bronx, BX all day, every day beat, but I was raised in South Carolina, so.
Let's go, BX.
Let's go. BX in the building. Don't kill them. Let's go. And to your left, we have...
Hi, everybody. I'm Corinne, but everyone knows me as Rinnie. You can find me at Rinnie.j, RINNIE.j on Instagram. Oh, and on YouTube now.
Hey, let's go. Let's get an applause. Please. Can we get... Yes. Let's get an applause. That's what we like to hear. Yes. And to my right, we have over here.
Hello, my name is
Please speak to the mic. I can't hear you.
To the mic.
Hi, my name is Jasmine. You can follow me on my Instagram, FlyGalJazz, FLYGYALJS. Yeah.
Fly gal jazz.
Fly gal.
Jasmine, where are you from?
I'm universal. I'm from all over. I grew up a military child. I don't live all over, but my family settled in like Baltimore and Northern Virginia, so I got peoples all over.
Copy. And how you doing tonight?
I'm good.
That's what I like to hear. What's your name?
I'm Janae.
Hey, Johnny. What's your social media so they can follow you?
It's the real JONEE.
Oh, that's dope. And where you from?
I'm from Northern Virginia.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I haven't been to Virginia that much, but a few times. I know about Virginia Beach. You been to Virginia, Brody?
Nah, I haven't, actually.
Y'all probably drove through there, Virginia.
Yeah, it's not that far.
Not a few minutes.
Well, honestly, I haven't really. I've never really visited Virginia. Never really had a reason to visit Virginia.
There's nothing there, honestly.
But I actually one day want to go to visit Virginia Beach.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think it's some
Yeah.
cool people out there.
What? And how's your day today, ladies? Starting from the left, how's your day today?
Oh, my day was wonderful.
What did you do today?
I've been training all day, if we're being honest. I've been stretching clients. I actually teach dynamic alignment.
Nice.
So you guys out there, if you need some dynamic alignment, it helps you with your flexibility, helps you with your lifts, excuse me.
I was like, yes, let's go. People don't have to go get a surgery.
Yeah, honestly, but it definitely it has so many different benefits with working out. Even if you don't work out, it helps benefits mental and physical. And then I worked out myself, of course. I have a challenge going on for myself to hold myself accountable at all times. So
That's dope. So anyone out needs some dynamic stretching could definitely find your page on Instagram, right?
yes, come get some stretching done.
Let's
You
go.
need it.
Let's go. How did you get into dynamic stretching?
So originally I was teaching dance. I was a dance major and I started teaching dance and I was stretching myself. So people used to come up to me and I'm like, hey, do you do other people? And I was like, no. But then I started getting into stretching powerlifters and stretching like people in the gym, and it took off from there. And now I'm stretching a lot of people all day long. It's so beautiful.
Let's
though.
go. Beautiful. Congratulations. Let's go. And Opal, what do you do for a living?
Oh, what do I do for a living?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I mean, I am a clinical social worker by day, Zumba instructor, bodybuilder by night.
Ooh, okay, let's go. Let's go.
All day.
Yes, and
All day.
how long have you been doing your job?
I've been a social worker since 2013. That's when I got my master's. And as far as clinical, I got my clinical license in 2017.
Oh, copy.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you very
Let's
much.
Let's go. That's what's up.
Thank you. I do want to say, y'all, I did get a dynamic alignment from Rinnie yesterday, and I want to say that it changed my life. It really did. Like I was bawling, crying. Like it was more than just physical. It was definitely spiritual. So if you please holla at my friend, but don't crowd her because I need to get another alignment. So
No, crowd me.
crowd her.
No, honestly,
But
it
leave
is.
space for me.
Like, people don't understand how important it is to, tap into your spirituality and your mental. Like, I am an advocate of speaking light and love into everyone. So I will break you down and force you to love yourself.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So yeah, yes, thank you.
Yes,
You're welcome. My heart is full.
To my right, Jasmine over here. What do you do for a living?
So I'm a makeup artist. I've been doing makeup for about 5 years now. I got my cosmetology license when I was in high school. And I just love to make women feel beautiful. Makeup concerns, skincare concerns. Sometimes I come across women who don't feel beautiful. This lady literally cried in Sephora the other day because she was saying how she don't feel beautiful. And so I had to help her, just find her inner goddess. And that's where my YouTube channel comes into place. It's called Speak Your Truth Jazz. And I basically teach women how to activate their energy, their inner goddess. So that way they can know how to just love themselves.
That's
and
what's up. That's what I like to
spread
hear.
love.
That's dope.
Love is the vibration.
That's hella dope.
That's dope.
That's hella dope.
Love is my superpower.
Yes.
Word. It's all about love. It's all about love. That's the greatest, most powerful energy.
It's beautiful.
And what about you over there, Miss Janae?
What do I do for a living?
Yes.
So I'm a eyelash extension technician.
Let's go.
Yes, that's what I do pretty much every day other than working out.
So and you also work out.
Yes.
That's what's up. That's what
That's
I like
dope.
to hear. That's what I like to hear. So now, ladies, I would like to talk about, I would like to get into the topic for today. I would love to talk about mental health and how important it is to take in some time to realize how your mental health is, what stage or what state your mental health is and where you need to go. What are your thoughts on mental health? How do you stabilize or maintain your mental health while going through stress, the stress of life, of living, of just being working? All you ladies have jobs, and I'm not sure if you ladies have kids or anything like that, but we could answer those questions. Starting from the left over here, if you don't mind.
We're always starting from the left. Let's get this going.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm an advocate of, I won't say advocate, but I'm big on mental health. That's why I started the boot camps, because I have the Love Circle to teach people how to love themselves. I speak affirmations into myself every day. I speak affirmations into my daughter every day. I speak affirmations to everyone that's around me. I'm big on praying. Like, I need to work on this too, but I don't pray for myself enough because I'm praying for everyone that's around me, because you never know what may attack their spirit.
Yes.
And since they're aligned in my path, I need to make sure whatever is about to attack them repels. So now it won't hit me or hit them.
It just hit the wall over there.
All right, you already working,
I'm telling you. But I'm so big on that, because you never know what people go through on a regular basis. And I'm really big on pouring. Like, my spirit can tell me, or my spirit can feel when someone needs it. That's a big reason why I do dynamic alignment, because I want to teach you that it's okay to not be okay sometimes. It's okay to break down. It's okay for you to become one and learn who you are, because I wasn't always like that. I wasn't confident. And then after a while, like when I got out of my relationship, God just showed me a path that I realigned, and now I'm just big on whatever's going on with me. I make sure I overflow in the next person, so they know, like, look, You are loved. I appreciate you. We literally just had this heart to heart yesterday. But you are loved. I appreciate you. Even people that I don't know, I will open a door and I can feel their spirit and I'll just speak and let it flow.
Being the fact that you spread so much love and energy towards people, how do you deal with your own mental health?
That's a wonderful question. Okay, well, sometimes I have to disconnect. I will say this because I'm so big on helping everyone all day long. I disconnect from everybody except my daughter. My daughter fills my cup. She literally, oh, I got to cry. She literally teaches me what it is to be one with self. I'm big on dancing. I'm big on singing. I'm big on, just finding ways to balance. I love to hike. I love to skydive. I love to do anything that will help me disconnect from the world and align myself with God. So
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Let's get to Miss Opal here. Especially with your job, is it challenging to deal with a lot of clients or patients while also dealing with your own social life or personal life?
Yeah, that's.
How do you deal with your mental health?
Ooh. So it is quite a loaded question because, yes, I am a mental health professional and I do work in a mental hospital. And my clients, they, when we talk about mental health, my clients, they struggle with bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, and lots of other, variations of it. And, for me, like all day, just like Rinnie said, I'm pouring into my clients every day. My clients are all men, so I work on the unit with men, and I pour into them every day if they're receptive to it, of course. And then after that, when I teach my classes, I'm pouring into my clients as well. I've had clients that have come up to me and told me that, I make their day, or that, they were battling depression and just coming to my class really helps them. So, it is, just like Rinnie said, like it is a lot, when you're giving. And for me personally, I'm gonna be transparent with you guys. I do have anxiety. So, I overthink sometimes. Okay, I overthink a lot of times. Because, I'm just always thinking about possibilities and how to fix things because I'm a fixer. Especially. Yeah, and I'm glad, I'm really thankful for my friends. So when it comes to, as far as managing my mental health and managing my anxiety, working out really, and I hate to be cliche, but, I wasn't fit growing up, and I had struggled with a lot of stuff, self-esteem issues, on top of being anxious and being a people pleaser, which also is taxing on your mental health. Eventually, when I found fitness, I learned to channel that energy and really, learn to love myself more. So that's one of the biggest things that helped me. I also, during COVID, which was tough for everybody, I did get a dog. So, and you guys have seen my dog, and, she's not just a cute little dog, but for me, she keeps me grounded. For me, when COVID hit, I don't know for everybody else, but I felt like I lost my purpose a little bit. I didn't know. I honestly felt like, my life was like a wash, rinse, repeat. And I was like, damn, I don't know what to do. And honestly, when I got her, I was like, okay, have a bit of a purpose. Because, when here, you guys, I'm going to tell y'all, here, I don't have family here. I moved here, I only knew one person. So everybody that I've met along the way in my journey, y'all are like family to me. And so, that also, having my friendship circle, when I say you're my friend, you are like family to me, because that really helps me. So, yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. I like to hear that. That's dope. Thank you.
Love you guys.
We love you too, Opal. We love you too. Don't worry, girl. And Jasmine, how do you manage your mental health? How do you keep that in check what do you do to keep it in check?
I pray most of the times. That's like a necessity. Like when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is pray. I just, not saying get it out the way, but I just feel like it helps me to like know when my next step is. Like, cause sometimes I don't know what to do, but I know like after I pray, I feel like it's like a weight lifted off my shoulder, and then from there I just sort of like just let God lead the way. Something that I always tell myself is I am being led by Spirit. I'm allowing Spirit to support me, and I am trusting Spirit. So I'll say that throughout the day just to keep going. And really taking long walks outside, that's another thing that I'll do. Like when I wake up, instead of just getting right to work or getting busy, I like to go outside. I like to just look at Mother Earth, breathe. Breathing, exercises really help too. Just breathing, just making sure that you breathe and stay in the present moment. But I'm really big on prayer. I feel like prayer helps me with every single thing. Even when I'm not aware enough, I feel like God is always right there. I will also say like just meditating, really clearing out your mind, not thinking about anything, sort of like losing your mind and just getting in your body. And I feel like that is it. Like I just pray, long walks. Gratitude is another good thing too that I do. I'll count my blessings when I wake up. And I try to do this every morning because I feel like it helps me to just stay focused throughout the day and just be more aware of what I need to, pay attention to.
That's a fact. That's dope.
And they pretty much said it, like just pretty much pouring into yourselves. If you have any passions, I would say definitely your passions really, really help you out a lot. Like I love dancing too. I love moving my body. Working out is good for just balancing out everything. It gives you energy, but at the same time, you're able to just let go. And really being around my family and friends and the people who love you for you. Like, that's the best medicine.
Well, that sounds dope, and I hope that because you ladies have that in common, I should definitely link up and collaborate on some type of dance moves or a dance. Yes, all of y'all, yes. Let's go. And Goku Pump. And Goku Pump gonna dance too.
Hey, man, I'm with it.
Janae, what do you do for your mental health to keep it in check?
I like to speak positive things into myself. I'd say I like to. I'm sorry, I'm over here. I like to speak positive things into myself because I do have a lot of anxiety. I like to talk myself out of things, although I feel like I have the potential to do it. It's like sometimes I'll start things and I'm like, nah, maybe I'm not like, good enough for it right now, or, have the energy to do it, or the motivation and stuff like that. So these days I've been trying to speak positive affirmations every day when I wake up. Definitely I pray daily, or when I feel like I'm a little feeling down, like I say a little prayer to myself, like, you got this. I try to lift myself back up because I work in a business where I make women, feel good about themselves and beautiful like you as well. So that lifts me up, when I make others feel, good about themselves and stuff, because we do deal with adversity, dealing with different personalities all day. So sometimes that's challenging, but I never really show anyone that, I'm feeling a burden or feeling agitated and stuff. I just try to keep a smile on my face. Or sometimes I'm just kind of like in my own world in a blank space, but I definitely just try to smile a lot. I remember I was working at this other job and people just kept telling me, like, why do you smile so much? And I was like, I think it makes the day go by faster, and it's just natural, but
Beautiful.
But yeah.
That's definitely beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Yo, Goku Pump, bro, what do you be doing to maintain or manage your mental health, bro? Especially as a black man.
For me,
Exactly.
one thing I will say is learning to appreciate where I am today.
Amen.
I lived in Nigeria half my life. I was in the village. There was no electricity. Man, there was days where I couldn't even get water. I had to wait for it to rain to take a shower outside. So anytime I feel like my mental is not right, I'm feeling stressed out about things, I just think about that, like, yo, shit, I'm able to eat today. Mm-hmm. I'm able to get water. I am able to, just be comfortable on the couch or on the bed. So, like, I definitely just learning how to appreciate life, and no matter what you're going through, just know there's people out there going through 10 times worse. Exactly. So that's one of the ways I definitely deal with mental health. Just anytime I feel down, or I'm like, bruh, remember where you came from. So yeah, you remember where you started. So gotta appreciate where you are at today. And also, like you guys said, passion. Passion is definitely one of the best ways to deal with mental health. That's the best way to meditate. I have a passion for working out. I have a passion for creating content. So, when people come up to me and like, yo, bro, I appreciate your videos. It changed my life. I appreciate what you're doing. That also helps me with my mental health. Yeah. And I'll definitely say that that's pretty much it.
How about you,
I'm glad
Broly?
you said that because I always have to constantly remind myself, like, okay, Jazz, it could be worse than what it is right now. And that helps me as far as, like, with my mental health, too. And it's not like I'm ungrateful because I'm really grateful, but at the same time, you just have to remind yourself, like, oh, like, I was here 3 years ago, and now I'm here today.
Because it's hard to live in the moment sometimes. Like, sometimes you have to take a breath and be like, wow, I really came from this.
Right.
So I understand it.
Yeah.
And that's when I have to change my attitude, and I'm
That
like,
gratitude. You said it, though.
I'm actually really happy.
You said it. You said it. You said that gratitude. Sometimes you have to take the time out and appreciate that gratitude. Because, like, not only pray when you're down, like, I pray when I'm happy.
Yeah.
Like, that's, like, people don't take the time out to really think about that. When I'm at my highest peak, thank you, God. I might shed a tear, too. Like, thank you, God. Like, I was not right here. I did not see this. But I also want to ask Broly, because I'm big on men's mental health, because a lot of men don't have someone to talk to or someone to lean on because they're always looked at as the strong one. So Broly, like, what do you do? I know you're a dad. So what do you do to disconnect, or what do you do to pour into yourself to help with your mental?
Well, it's very important to me to understand stability and how I'm taking on the world with the things that's coming in with my experiences. So when I feel as if I'm being pressured in a way that I'm not able to sustain my mental stability, then I'll step back and assess my situation and how I feel, and reassess what I need to do to change that so I can be a better person and be more at peace at mind, have more peace of mind. So a lot of times there's different things, for example, like eating right. The things that you put in your body, the food that you put in your body affects the way that you think. So sometimes you have to fast on certain things so you could be able to think a little bit more clearly. You know what I mean? I've recently taken a fast when I went to Thailand on a lot of foods that are given to you with preservatives and all of this bad stuff in it. I had a lot of fresh foods. And on top of that, I had stopped smoking. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't doing anything, even practicing semen retention. So putting my mind or putting myself in a position to be even more uncomfortable sometimes, and then isolate myself to really internalize what's going on with me, because sometimes I don't find that another person can understand myself more than I do. So I need to, before I could even share that, I need to be able to process my thoughts so I could get that out the right way, because it's not what you say, it's how you say it, how you express your thoughts. So if you don't express it the right way, some people might feel offended. So I'm very aware and mindful of how I feel internally, spiritually, mentally, physically, and I make sure that I have a lot of priorities. So I make sure that I'm on top of myself so that I could be the best and continue to be the best with myself. I don't really compare with anyone else because it doesn't make any sense. Yesterday, I did something. Now is the day to beat what I did yesterday. So once I keep on consistently moving like that, I'm accomplishing and releasing so many dopamines in my brain that makes me just feel or just gain more confidence within myself. But definitely isolating myself and being mindful of what I put in my body and also working out and following my passion, as you all said. So that was mad love, ladies, and my guy Coco Pump. So that's dope that we all are on the same path in different ways.
Yes.
But you know what I mean, as humans, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, I was just about to say that I, see or the similarities between myself and everyone at this table. We are all in this same space together. So I'm really just prefacing and say, like, I'm glad that we're having this conversation because it's really important. So
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's important to hold yourself accountable. Like, as you said, accountability, like, that's number one. Accountability for self. Like, we always hold other people accountable, but when you actually see the flaws, I can't even say flaws, when you actually see the things that you fault yourself and you want to make it better, that's when you know you reach a high point of growth and understanding. It's not about what you say. It's definitely about how you say
How you
it
say
because
it.
we all
That's a
have a
fact.
different understanding.
That's a fact.
that's true.
So that led me to believe that because of how people mental health stage is, because of trauma, different traumas, we all went through different traumas in life. Sometimes relationships with a person that you don't necessarily know, creating an intimate relationship with them, and then it creates trauma, or even just a stranger, or even family members. What are some of the traumas that you ladies have dealt with in your life? And do you take that trauma and bring it into another relationship? Let's start off on my right hand side this time, since we've been starting off on the left hand side all this time.
So you want us to talk about trauma
Yes.
that you've endured?
Yes.
Okay, well, I feel like I've endured multiple instances of trauma, but I won't, get too personal. But one that really stuck with me is my Achilles. I tore both of my Achilles at like two different points in my life, and I was really honed in on basketball. Like, that was my thing when I was in high school, and just all my life I played basketball. That was like my goal to get a scholarship and all that. And I first did it in 8th grade, and at first I didn't know what it was. I was just like, oh my gosh, my basketball career is over. So I was really down then. And then I healed, had to learn how to walk again and everything like that. And then 2 years later, I tore my other one. And I didn't even cry the second time, but I was really disappointed because I'm just like, is this a sign? Maybe I should stop playing. Do I want to keep going? But it's crazy because I feel like since that's happened, I've been so much stronger. Because I remember people used to bully me about the scars that I have on the back of my legs and stuff. And I used to just be like, don't look, don't look at me. It's nothing to see here. But that was a pretty hard time because I was down for like a year each time. And then I had to relearn a lot. But I feel so much stronger and so much better. Now I don't care, if anyone sees them or not. That's just a part of me. It's always going to be there. It can't go away now. But yeah, I would say that was pretty traumatic for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't knock that. What about you, Jasmine? What was something that was traumatic in your life that happened to you?
I've been trying to think.
Would you like me to get back to you? We can get
I
back
would
to you.
say, I would say maybe when I was sexually assaulted in college. It put me in a space where like I was scared of men for a minute. Like, it was weird, but basically, an incident happened, and when you in college, you're kind of a little too open sometimes. You're like, oh yeah, I'm in college. It's about to be lit. Oh yeah, I met a new guy. Oh yeah, real hot girl. But then, you chill with them. And then next thing you know, they get a little too comfortable. And then, thank God I was smart enough to like leave. So nothing like tragic happened. But At the same time, I was still assaulted, and I was just shucking up about it because it could have went further than what it did. And ever since that situation, like not right now, but when it like after it happened for a minute, like I could not like if a guy specifically if a black man was walking like to me, I would just be like, whoa, like I'm going the other way because I was scared. But I learned how to deal with it by just, my friends, my family, and praying,
Let's go.
being more self-aware and mindful of the decisions I make. And, I'm just grateful that it didn't, it wasn't as bad as other people's stories, but it did teach me a valuable lesson. And, I cope with it, like I said, by praying, but really just by taking it day by day, taking my time. I was closed off for quite a while, but I opened up, as the days went by. Going on dates, not just, being all fast, really getting to know someone. You think you know people until they show you their true colors. So you really gotta give it some time before you can really like open up. And that's why I am the person I am today. Like I have 2 brothers though, and they love me so much and they're so respectful. And my nephew is too. And the people that I'm around, as far as black men wise, they're respectful. And in a way, at first, I used to blame myself because I'm just like, that was another thing. I blamed myself because I'm like, well, maybe I shouldn't wear this, or maybe I shouldn't wear this. Like, I was just real cautious about what I was wearing, how my hair would look. It's like I couldn't go outside looking too cute because I'm like, hold on, somebody may approach me the wrong way. Somebody may think this and that, but it just took time, really. Like, I'm in a great space right now. I don't even think about it that much anymore, but at one point in my life, it was like I was scared. Like, I remember an incident had happened where it wasn't even an incident. I remember I was over a friend's house, and she invited 2 guys, and, they were really cool. And I had went to the liquor store with one of them, to get some liquor or whatever. And he scared me because, he had he stopped and like he had locked the doors. And so I was like ready to fight. I was just like, whoa, like what are you doing? After you've been sexually assaulted, the smallest thing could trigger you. And it just seemed like after that I was triggered by the most smallest things. Like if I was in a car with an Uber with a black man, he locked the door, I'm triggered. If a black man is walking towards me, I'm thinking like, whoa, like, let me walk the other way. I'm triggered. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful. And I'm happy that years has, like, I would say like maybe 3 years have went by and I've been doing pretty good. So thank God for that. But yeah, I would say that really gave me a lot of trauma as far as like trusting men, specifically black men, because he was a black man. And
but would you really label it as black men or just men?
Men in general, but I only date black men, so like it was just sort of disappointing at the time because I'm just like, I know I want to marry like before this happened, I know I want to marry me a black man. I know I want to have beautiful black kids with a black man, like, but it's all men, like it's all men. You should just be mindful of those type of situations. But
do you mind
specifically it was black men for me, like it, because that had happened. Like when it came to like any other race approaching me, I wouldn't be scared, but when it came to that race approaching me, I'll be like, whoa, like, cause but I've forgiven and I love black men. I'm gonna still marry me a black man. And yeah.
Well, I'm sorry that happened to you, and I'm glad that you're definitely taking the steps to move forward and be your best self. You know what I mean? So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Word. All right, Opal, what's up over here? What about you? What kind of traumas have you been into in your life, going through or experienced?
Well, I'm going to preface this and say that I have been to therapy for this, and in no way am I, I'm fully healed from this, and the only reason why I am emotional is because, it is something that I really honestly don't talk about with a lot of people, but I'm going to be transparent now because okay, well, probably the biggest trauma of my life was when I was 14. So, for the people in the comments that say that we need help, at the end of the day, we are strong. We're survivors at the end of the day, and we're not broken. We're not broken people at all. But when I was 14 years old, my virginity was taken from me by two guys. And it was traumatic because I was in a house. I was, hanging out with my cousin, who's a guy. So he's with all his friends. I went to use the bathroom in the house, locked the door. It was within a master bedroom. And when I was done, the door was open on me, and it was the two guys. And when I tried to get out, they pushed me in a closet, and I fell and hit my head on a pole. And that's when they took my virginity from me. And at that time, I didn't know what happened. I didn't even know what to say. I didn't even tell my family or my parents until we left, because we were in Florida. And when I went back home, I ended up telling my brother. I have three brothers, and I ended up telling my brother. He ended up telling my mom that, and I was in a very dark place for a long time. When that happened, in school, I was 14, like in high school. I wasn't a popular girl. I was chubby. I was bullied. After that happened, going back to school, and then when you go in and you see all the guys in school, and they treat you like an object, like you're not human, and you start to feel like all they want from you is to just take advantage of you. I was in such a deep, dark hole that I did not think that I would see tomorrow, and I did not want to live. And honestly, when people tell me, or when people ask me how did I become a clinical social worker? It's because a clinical social worker saved my life. When I went to therapy, she was a clinical social worker. I did not see past tomorrow, but she helped me. But even still, things were still traumatic, because even though that happened, it was the after effects afterwards, because I was sexually assaulted. I have been sexually harassed. When people ask me, Opal, what do you think about school? I hated school. And one of the reasons I hated school was because the kids were so mean, and they created a really horrible rumor about me. And I was sexually harassed from my junior year, beginning of junior year, until I left that school my senior year. I used to walk through that school, and men used to tell me that I was a dirty dirty person, and I didn't even do anything to anybody.
Those guys never got in trouble. Did you? You know.
Let me
Did you
tell you,
report
there
them?
was one time. Let me tell you, it's really interesting because it shows you how the world works. I did not like the guys from the basketball team, and they used to. They were one of the main culprits of sexually harassing me. They used to be like, "Opal, when are you gonna suck my dick?" and all this stuff like that. I apologize for saying that, but kids were mean. I went and I told the coach. I can't remember if the coach was female or male. I told the coach, like, hey, your basketball team members, they're saying these things to me. And they said to me, well, what did you do to bring that upon yourself?
When you was reporting this.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. And I felt defeated. I felt every day I walked into that school, it was like a it was a battlefield. I used to cry in the bathroom almost every day because walking through the cafeteria was like, it was like a spotlight was on you. Because I'm gonna tell you what the rumor was. Somebody made up a rumor that I gave oral sex to the entire football team. I don't know where they got that from. I never hung out with the people from the football team. I didn't even know anybody from the football team. But that rumor spread like wildfire to the point where everyone walking in the halls with other people in the halls, dudes would be like, "Oh, but when are you gonna suck my dick? When are you gonna do this and that?" I apologize. But
It's okay. You just express yourself.
I like I said, I've had therapy. I had therapy at that time, and I had therapy as an adult because, like I said, there are residual effects when it comes to sexual trauma. But at the end of the day, like I said, we are not broken. We are survivors. Because there was a time where, like I said, I did not see past tomorrow, and now I see tomorrow, and I see my future, and I know that one day I will be loved for who I am as a person, and that I'm gonna be treated with respect. And just like you said, Jazz, like I had a very difficult time dating and trusting men because I didn't know if all they wanted to do was just use me and leave me and kick me down and hurt me. So it took a very long time to overcome that. But as far as traumas goes, that would probably be the biggest trauma that I experienced in life. And I really do appreciate you guys for allowing me the space to talk about it, because I've always thought about trying to be an advocate, but it is scary to talk about these things because, people at the end of the day, they judge mental health. I'm big on mental health. I work in a mental hospital. And, but talking about these things are still scary because people are going to have their opinions and they're going to make judgments about you. But I'm very, happy to share that with you all.
Thank you for sharing.
And I'm glad that
thank
you
for
said
taking
that
these steps. Word.
you went to someone and they didn't do anything. When I was in my situation, I literally ran out the house almost like halfway naked. And I ran to the corner store and I called the cops. But they didn't do anything about it either. They just, how does he look? Where was he at? They'll knock on the door, but if no one comes out, they're not going to protect me. And so that was another reason why I felt like I had to protect myself.
It's scary. And the victim blaming is a problem.
Makes it feel like it's something wrong with you.
Right. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, we see things that happen on the news and women may or may not. We don't know. Falsely accuse men of certain things. We don't know because we weren't there. But victim blaming is such a big thing, and it's real. But it's really, really sad. So.
Thank you for sharing, though. I appreciate that because that must have taken a lot to even be able to share and be open about it. So. To talk about a trauma is another way to be able to get over it. So that's really dope. That's really dope. What about you, Rinnie? What's good over there?
No,
How you feeling?
Man, she was taking a lot too.
How you feeling?
Okay, so
Yo, before we go on to Vinny, shout out to Scotts for donating $10. Thank you for the support, bro. We appreciate
Yes,
you.
yes, truly.
And shout out to Phantom as well. Him and Scott are having a nice conversation. So stay tuned, guys. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, smash every single thing that you are attracted to, especially.
Except for my girl.
Put it on the screen, please, bro. Put it on
Don't
the
stop
screen.
playing, bro.
Please put it on the screen.
Don't smash my
You
girl.
know, always and forever.
Yo, bro.
Smash
Yo,
Local Pump's girl.
yo, bro.
You know what I mean? Please.
Yo, right, bro?
But back to Rinnie now, please.
okay, let me start with this.
Mm-hmm.
I am not an advocate. I'm not. I appreciate how strong y'all are because I'm not able to talk about. I'm not able to talk about it just yet. I've been to therapy for it, but I'm not able to talk about it. I will say this: the things that happened in my life have made me who I am today. I'm truly grateful because I am not broken. I am not broken. I am not broken. And it shows me that, no matter what we go through, not even just women, but men too, no matter what we go through, we are strong. We are strong and we are going to be healed and we're going to be okay. Because no matter what we go through, God has our back. And I'm really not strong enough to talk about it. I'm so sorry. But I will say, like, through the tests and trials of our lives, it shapes us and molds us. And for so long, I was someone else. For so long, I had this wall up. And for so long, I wasn't able to see or feel or even move the way I move now because it wasn't in my path to do so at that moment because I was scared. For so long, I was a little girl. When my trauma ended or when my trauma started, I continued at that age mentally because I wasn't ready to heal. I did not know where to go. I would run. My first instinct was to run. My first instinct was to shun people out or hit somebody. I'll be honest. Whenever I felt like something was coming to attack me, I would fight first to get out of it. But I'm learning, and I've been to therapy, and I'm learning to listen, to interpret things. And I'm learning to understand that I'm meant for greater. What I went through does not define who I am because I'm supposed to be somewhere else, and I'm supposed to be an advocate, but I can't do that at this moment. I'm supposed to speak on the things that I've been through, and I'm supposed to let people know that, like, no matter what you go through, you will be healed. You are, and I know it because I feel it. And everything that I do, the way I move, the way I pour into people, like no one would know half of the things that I've been through in my whole life. But I always say that every door that's open for me or open for someone else, it's going to open another door, and it's going to be so abundant and so strong and so understanding. And that's why I'm so big on pouring into everybody. But I will say this: don't let anyone have any control over who you are. Don't let anyone have any control of who you are. And I'm not on anything. I'm just stating as in, like, God has a purpose for everybody. And when you speak on certain things, people aren't ready for the way you pour because they look at it as in it's a different understanding. So the way I speak, you probably won't interpret. And that's okay because when it's time for me to pour abundantly, it's going to pour into the right people. And I'll be an advocate for the women who cannot speak up. I'll be that person for the young women who are not able to actually take their time out and be like, hey, I need help. Because a lot of us don't know how to ask for help. Or a lot of us who ask for help are beat down. So it makes it harder for us to even open up and ask, hey, can you do the small things? And we blame ourselves. Yes, I am one to blame myself for everything. Yes, I was the one who would not look in the mirror and think that I'm beautiful. I'm still like that sometimes. but troubles don't last always. And that's all I'm gonna end with.
That was dope. That was
That
dope.
was dope.
Word. What about you, Coco Pump? What kind of traumas you been through, boy?
Oh man.
Play, boy.
Honestly, I'll say it's. I mean, I'll say a old one and a recent one, because I don't know which one is worse. You know. So as a kid, when I was younger, when I first came from Africa, came out here like at the age of 9. I believe 9. My first day in elementary school, you know, I had on like a button-up shirt, some trousers, and you know, some sandals. That's what I wore to school, and I was just always getting made fun of by the kids, getting called the African booty scratcher. The first day of class, you know, when the teacher was asking everybody to say their name, I said my name, Babatunde, and I said it with the deep ass African accent, and everyone just started laughing, you know, and I was always getting picked on as a kid. So those days I would try to get my mom to like buy me some sneakers, but she would be like, bro, you gotta focus on school. Like, what you mean sneakers? So I didn't want to go to school, and that continued happening till I got to high school, and I stopped going to school because I was always getting made fun of and picked on. So that was a crazy time for me. And my mom had to send me back to Africa because how crazy it was. So that and the second one I would say was a business partner I had about I think 3 to 4 years ago. So that's why I appreciate my brother standing beside me right now, Broly. We had a relationship. We were also creating content together, and things happened. Basically, I was going through an extreme pain with my appendix. I had appendicitis, and I couldn't even walk. Like I thought I was gonna die. Like I had to get surgery and get my appendix taken out. And that moment, he used that as an opportunity to move like a snake. He went and basically took all the money that we had in the account. And when we had a meeting about it, you know, he was complaining about certain things not getting done because I was sick. And I told him, like, yo, man, I'm just going through an extreme pain right now with this appendicitis issue. But things are going to get back to normal and blah, blah, blah. And there was one thing he said to me that really made me feel like I might die. This was before I had the surgery. He was like, yo, man, let's say you die today. He's like, yo, the business still got to go on. So I understand what you're going through, but this is like not an excuse. Like, so this was like a week before the surgery, and I was just like, damn, like I just might not make it. I felt that way, you know, with the craziness that was going on. And I remember he had DM'd me on Instagram that, yo, bro, you gonna be all right. And that was right before the surgery happened.
It's a blessing.
Yeah. So I truly appreciate my brother Broly and his mother. They were there for me that was one of the hardest times in my life because I thought I don't know why I thought I was gonna die, but yeah, that was the most traumatic time. But that was pretty much it. You know. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad
That's why
that
I'm big on who I hang around with.
Yeah.
Other
Say it in the mic,
people's
please. I can't
thoughts,
hear you.
I said that's why I'm very big on who I hang around with, like your environment, the people who are, feeding into your life, because he was just feeding. He wasn't feeding into. He was
Yeah, and
death.
he didn't.
That's what I'm like.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I'm very big on my energy, who I hang around with. I like to fill the room out. Sometimes, it may look like I'm being, stuck up or bougie, but it's just I have to protect my energy. Like, I'm very big on protecting my energy and being around people who have their best interest in me and feeding life into me and not death. So shout out to you, Broly.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
And it's always needed as a friend when like somebody is going through things like pain or maybe like physical pain. It's good as a friend to just call. Like I just wish that he would have just called and be like, yo, bro, you all right? So that time he wasn't calling me at all. It was just even more pain. So, but that's why I said I appreciate Broly for being there at that time for me. So that's why we have that tight relationship today. Even though he's mad crazy. Crazy
Those are
Broly.
the best people, though.
Yeah.
I was saying God definitely removed that person out of your life, and he brought Broly in to your life at the right time.
Yeah.
And that's a sign. And I think about that too. But I'll let Broly answer the question too. And what's your traumatic experience?
My traumatic experience was a different one, and it was hard to deal with only because I was a child. I was very young. I was probably about around 16 years old, 17 years old. I was a teenager. And unfortunately, I had to deal with the, incarceration system. I got locked up at that time, hanging with the wrong people, doing the wrong things. And that's why it's very important that you are aware of the people that are around you. Because if you're broke and you're only around people that are rich, you might start making some money. That aspect of it is really true. Even if you're in school and you don't know what you're doing and people around you are very, very smart, you'll start learning. So long story short, while being in jail, I got jumped many times. And at that time, the reason why I went to jail is because I had a fight with my brother. It's not like I did something very bad in the streets, whereas I was hanging with the wrong people. I was doing bad stuff, but I didn't get in trouble for that stuff. I actually went to jail for fighting my brother, so it was kind of messing my head up because I didn't respect my brother to call the police on me because he was at least 20 years older than me, and he's the one that initiated the situation. So at that time, while being incarcerated and I'll give you an example of what happened. While on Rikers Island, they sent me to a room that they call a day room where everyone comes in and you get your food and you can sit down. There's a TV screen there and you can watch TV. There's a bench that's bolted down to the ground, and then there's plastic chairs, maybe about 50 to 100 chairs. There's about 50 guys there, but some of the guys are sitting on the floor eating, some of the guys are sitting on the bench eating, some of the guys are standing up eating. I look on the wall, there's about 50 to 100 chairs. There's 5 or 6 guys sitting down on a chair. One guy sitting on 5 chairs. One guy sitting on 7 chairs. One guy's just sitting on. I'm like, why are these guys sitting on so many chairs? I would just sit on one chair. No, there's those
It's
like
stacked
plastic
up?
chairs. Yeah, they stacked them up. They stacked up like 5 chairs and sit on it. 6 chairs, 7 chairs. And I'm like, what's wrong with these guys? Like, they crazy. So I went and got like one chair and like just sat down. I was eating, and one of the guys looked at me. He was like, yo, you know where the fuck you at? I'm like, this guy must be telling a joke or something. Like, we locked up right now. What is he talking about? By the time I looked up, I'm like, what? Boom! Somebody just hit me from the back. So now I have to defend myself. And when you get jumped, you have to learn how to get jumped. Otherwise, you can really, really get hurt. So at that time, I put myself in a fetal position, curled up, grabbed one of the guys so that he could possibly take some of the blows as well, and I'm just defending myself. The CEOs came in, they broke it up, we all get locked down. So this happened for I stayed there for like maybe, 4 or 5 days.
Mm.
So this happened every single day.
Wow.
So we would get locked down. Every time we would come out, we get locked down. And then eventually I went to see the judge, and because I was fighting my brother and I already was remanded, I guess that was my time served. Now I could come out, but my mother was there now to bail me out. So I'm just confused. Like, yo, why am I in this situation with my family and my mom is here even bailing me out? This is all crazy. That money can be used for something else. Either way, I come out of jail and I disconnect from my family because I didn't like the way that I was being treated, especially in that situation where my brother and I had a disagreement, and that led to myself being incarcerated, and then what I dealt with inside of there. So it was a point in time in my life where that's why I had seeked and a family of like some type of family energy, because at that time I like didn't fuck with my family, and I moved out of my mother's crib when I was 16. I was like, fuck this, I'm out of here, and I like was hanging with the wrong people. You know what I mean? So eventually, I put myself in a situation where I even had beef with these people after years of working with them, because we were all in a gang and what you want to call it. So got myself out of there and just learned a lot. And for me, the most traumatic situation was just being incarcerated and the breakup that I had with my family at that time. So I had to forgive. Of course, I'm not gonna forget. I had to forgive. I had to be able to speak about it. I had to because I didn't want to I didn't want to tell people. So eventually, when I was able to speak about it, then I was able to receive as well, because now I'm given the information. So I'm now able to receive input on it from different people's perspective, and then release the energy that I have within me from it.
Wow.
So I had to forgive, go back to my family, of course, and talk about it. And of course, there's always dysfunctional families in mad different ways, but they're still your family at the end of the day. Yeah. So, it is always good to lead with love, even if they hit you with something that's very negative.
Yeah, but family is not necessarily blood.
Yeah, I'm not knocking that, but in this situation, it was my blood, and I had went outside of my blood to seek that family energy, dynamic, and whatnot. So, yeah, you feel me?
I would say forgiving is probably one of the hardest things to do. I feel like that's why a lot of people are stuck sometimes in the past, because they don't know how to like forgive and let go. Growing up, I used to I could hold like 50 grudges. That was one thing I had to learn how to do, was to like let go and forgive. So for you to forgive your family, trust me, I know how that feels like, because I had to do the same thing. It's a huge step. And it helps you, it's like a weight off your shoulder, and all you can do is just be you from there, and your family just has to accept you and just, love you.
That's a fact. That's a
It's
fact.
not necessarily the forgiveness part.
I can't hear you, baby girl.
It's not always the forgiveness part. It's the forgetting part.
So
Never
for me,
forget.
I don't think that you ever have to forget, because people will always show you their colors. So you need to remember how they are, or who they are, and how they'll be, so that you could respond in the correct manner, reciprocating the same type of energy. So not necessarily forgetting, because if somebody, for example, my brother, if he hurt me in a way that, all right, I'll give you something that's very small. If he goes in my room and takes like some money out of my wallet, next time I see him, I know now to put my wallet somewhere else. Or talk to him about that situation, so that it won't happen again. So now I've forgiven you, but I won't forget. Anytime I see you now, my wallet will be secured.
But what if you want to forget?
That now those are things that's a feeling. Feelings and reality sometimes is different. Well, not sometimes, a lot of times it's different. You know what I mean? And of course, when it's traumatic, you want to forget. You don't even want that situation to have happened. But as you said, the thing is, you are strong enough to go through the things that you go through. Those things happen to you because you are strong enough to go through the things that you go through. So it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to forget. You just build off of who you are to become stronger and better. You know what I mean? You can't blame yourself for anyone else or anything else that is uncontrollable. You know what I mean?
I guess, like you're saying, moving forward, you just have to learn from what you experience and just make better decisions.
Yes.
And that's what I have to do. Yeah,
Yes. And sometimes it might not be the people you're around. It might be the whole environment.
Yeah.
Just separating yourself from that type of environment altogether, because then it's the people, it's the places, everything. And then when you put yourself in a new space and you reset it, like traveling to a whole new country where people don't even speak a whole new language, you will not go through the same type of reactions or responses that you was receiving before in your old, habitual places that you were already in.
Yeah, because some people, sometimes a strong person doesn't want to be strong all the time.
And also, it's also like kind of good not to forget, because you're gonna know how to. Because what if this person that you forgive is somebody you have to kind of see almost every day or most majority of the time of the week, and their behaviors still haven't really changed. So in order for you to know how to maneuver around that behavior, forgetting is definitely not the key, but forgiving and knowing how to maneuver.
Sometimes those memories of that bad negative situation, like, motivates me on a day like the present to do something that helps me get stronger. You know what I mean? Like if I'm working out and I'm in a relationship and maybe my girl got me tight and it's really bothering me, I can use that energy now to bust out some more push-ups, bust out some more pull-ups. If I'm have some type of goal, whereas it's for work and I need to make money, somebody got me mad and upset, instead of being angry and cursing other people out, I'm gonna put that energy in that work. Get your shit done right now. And then boom, it's done. I'm mad, but now I feel accomplished. It combats the positive energy, combats that negative energy. You know what I mean? So it's super important to also see there's always a positive in any negative situation.
Yes.
I was going to say that thank you for sharing your stories, and thank you all for sharing your stories. This is a very valuable conversation. I was really actually just thinking about forgiveness as well, because I learned the power of forgiveness. I did have a second traumatic thing that happened in my life. I'm not going to talk about it. Not as bad as what I already talked about, but it was still something that happened in college, and I was holding on to that pain for years afterwards, to the point, even though I wasn't thinking about it every day, there would be times that I would have like dreams. The people that hurt me would pop up in my dreams.
It was on your mind so much.
And it's really interesting. Like
Your subconscious.
It was in my subconscious. It wasn't consciously there, but subconsciously, because I was hurt by people I trusted, and I just, I kind of cut myself off from the world, moved away to get away from the pain. Like I ran away in a sense. But in therapy, the second round of therapy that I did do, we talked about forgiveness. And I told her, the therapist that I had at the time, like the types of dreams that I were having and the people coming into my dreams. And she was telling me that, really forgiveness, it's a burden. It's the burden that you put on your own self. And the reason why you can't move past it is because you haven't forgiven the people that hurt you. And it was so simple, but it was so profound, because after that session I prayed about it, and I really let go of that pain. And you want to know what's really interesting? God really, shout outs to God, he really works in some mysterious ways. But the people that hurt me at the time, because it was in college, do you know that it was hurting them so bad that after 10 years, they apologized to me?
Wow.
They sent me, it may not have been everyone, but I've gotten a couple messages, and they said, I want to let you know that what I did back then, I shouldn't have done that. And I was like, wow, like it was eating you up too, what you did to me. You know what I mean? And I was just like, wow. And I was already, I said, no more bad dreams. I'd forgiven what, they did. But I was just like, wow, like God really, because I don't want to say it's like a karma thing, but obviously it must have been eating them so bad that they had to apologize after 10 years. So that's my experience with the aspect of forgiveness.
Have anyone of you guys ever dealt with any of these traumas? Obviously, get over it or move past it, move beyond, but find yourself getting into new relationships and these traumas kind of coming out in that relationship.
That's deep.
Does anyone else want to start? Because I didn't have.
So I didn't talk about the other trauma that I'm still actually dealing with and healing with, because the day of when it happened is actually coming up. So it happened on my 26th birthday, so it's only been almost a year since this happened. But I'm sorry, what was the question again? Because I was about to answer. I just lost my thought.
Like, does it manifest in other ways, right?
Like, does it pop up in like new relationships?
Yes. Do you like?
Yeah, I will say it's very hard to like meet someone new. You know, it's like you were saying, like it's almost like we could be having good chemistry, but then I have to break this down to them. You know what I'm saying, type thing. And I feel like you are hesitant. You are scared to, put yourself out there, especially for those who are like who have big hearts and big, are just very loving and stuff. It's hard to give yourself to someone else or step into something new when, they might not understand where you're coming from, and I find it super hard. I find it super. I'm sorry. I find it super hard because I guess since it's happened as I'm like stepping into my prime as like, a grown woman and stuff. I just never would have thought that it would come, like that things like that would happen, but I have forgiven, but I don't forget, I still haven't really had closure from that person, so I think that's why it still bothers me till this day. But it is hard. It is hard stepping into new things, I will say. So, yeah. Sorry.
It's okay. Life isn't easy. Life is very beautiful. Sometimes it's very easy. Sometimes it's very hard. We go through a lot of challenges, but we are here today.
And we're here for you, even though it doesn't matter. Like for me, the way, like how Rinnie said earlier, like pouring into people, even if you don't know them very well. I may not know you very well, John A. She came to my class one time and we saw each other and reconnected recently, but I'm also here for you and I have got love for you and you're not alone, okay?
Yeah. Appreciate that.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
Yes. What about you,
I'm
Rinnie?
very proud of you.
Thank you.
Let's say that. Let's start with that. I'm very, very proud of you.
Right. I'm very proud of all of you guys.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's crazy because people.
Speaking of Mike, please.
Spiritual warfare is real. I just want to put it out there.
Yes.
The people who you exchange energy with, they can be some leeches. And that's why, like, sometimes it's so hard to, like, let go and because it's like everything that, like, society can trigger you. Like, everything can trigger you. It can be a song. Somebody can look like a person. They just trigger. It can be the most smallest things. And sometimes your mind just keeps replaying and replaying and replaying the same thing over and over again. But you were strong. All of us are strong. And, sometimes we go through, well, I know majority of times we go through what we have to go through and so we can speak our truth and help other women, because it's people out here that are dealing with mental health and they don't know how to deal with what they're going through. Mm-hmm. So this is just the first step, all of us are taking to become even stronger. Right. I just wanted to put it out there. But I would say, like, when it comes to, like, moving forward, like, as far as, like, how I've dealt with, you said trauma, like, people with trauma.
Yes. Do you think you go into other relationships and that trauma may come out in that relationship? Because trauma could be triggered in very different ways.
It can.
So, you might not have told this person about a situation that happened to you that was very traumatic and they didn't know that they were triggering, but you know, now you're expressing yourself in a negative way because of that trauma. Do you find that in different relationships that may happen?
So if someone was to do something that did trigger me, I'm very vocal now. Like I have to be, and it's only so they could know not to. I won't say not to do it again, but just so if I'm dealing with a person, I want them to know, you know, what triggers me. It's not like I'm just reacting off of just you did something. I'm pretty good at expressing myself. I can say that. I don't get mad too fast because I know not to take everything personal. But if something like that was to happen where I'm triggered, I would probably like take a step back, think before I react, and then I'll tell them like how I feel about what they said, and then probably explain to them why. And that's their choice if they respect it or not. If they do it again, I know that it's a wrap. So I don't give, when it comes to that, I'm not going to continue this cycle over and over and over and over again. I'm not like 15, 16-year-old dating. Like, no, like you need to be emotionally intelligent enough to put yourself in my shoes or in anybody else's shoes and treat that person how you would want to be treated and respected.
What about you ladies over here?
Okay, so I would say this. Because growing up, I realized that I had a lot of problems because I grew up in the hood, you know, crazy family.
Where about?
We're not gonna say.
Okay.
I get in trouble.
Okay.
But I would say this: the way I was raised and how my family, I wasn't raised on love. I was raised off of survival. I was raised off of, sorry, mom. Mom had different dudes, you know. I was raised around that lifestyle of hiding, let's say that. So, and then we got a lot of gang members. I'm so sorry, y'all. So it's like I had no choice but to hide, protect myself. And of course, you know, you have the people that protect you, but then you also have the people, you know. Let's just say this. Thank you, God. I would say that growing up, I was raised off of survival, so I didn't know what love was. When I had my daughter and I went to therapy, I found out what love was, the understanding of it, the peace of it, the love, the way it surrounds you and the way it teaches you how abundant life is. So going into the relationships, not even just like with the spouse, but like with the friend, I've learned to love them in their language. And it's so beautiful. Like when I say, I never love anyone the way I want to be loved. I always listen and take heed to what they say and just take a step back so I'll understand how to pour into them gracefully. That's why I like when people ask me like, why aren't you in a relationship? Because that's not of God. That's not what God wants me to be. And you'll feel it. Like when I feel people's energy, I never take my traumas into a relationship with my friend, foe, family, whoever it is, because that's not the purpose. The purpose, God's purpose for me into that relationship is greater, because if it wasn't, he wouldn't have led that in my path. So I would say that for me, it's a lot different. I literally, I listen to you. I pay attention to your movements. I touch, I feel, I understand, and then I pour, and it teaches me to be so grateful and so graceful with everything that comes into my path. So
I think that's dope. I think what's dope about you is you kind of learn how to give more than to get.
yeah,
Yeah,
I never expected it.
Yeah. That's like, I think that's like the key of life, you know, in any relationship, whether it's your friend or your love partner. If you just learn to give and not really expecting anything back, that's like mental health right there. that's like you can never be stressed out.
And I'm not. That's what, and
Yeah.
that's
It's an
why I'm not.
attraction. It's an attraction. You know what they say. You attract what you are. So that's good. Continue to pour out love. You're definitely gonna get all that love and abundance
It's
back.
press down, shake it together, and run it over. So when you give, it'll always come back to you.
It always
and I
comes
don't
back.
expect it. Like I never want to expect it because, like even in a relationship, they always say happy wife, happy life is never like that because when you pour into your spouse, they're gonna overflow because they're happy, they're at peace. So that's why I always say, how's your mental today? Like I'm big on asking whoever's around me, how's your mental today? And if they give me some lame answer, oh, that's not what I asked you. Did you pour into yourself today? Because if you didn't, now I have to find ways to make sure you poured into you or I'm going to pour into you because we need to reverse. You're not about to walk in this path and think that you're about to be sad when I'm happy. That's not how it works, right?
No.
Yes.
You can ask
Tell you
all my
something. You
friends.
should have been a clinical social worker like me. Okay, you should be the therapist too.
I'm just saying.
But that's very beautiful. I honestly, I hate to do this, but I really have to because we can read your comments. And to Eddie Fox, he made a comment about how the men should tell us that we cause our own traumas. And we should talk about that because to be honest, you know, and not only that, because I read the comments about how you guys don't think that what Broly and Goku went through were that traumatic compared to us. Everybody is different. What matters to Broly, what matters to Goku, what happened to them, that's what is deep to them. That's what hurt them. You know, we can't rate, oh, my pain is worse than your pain. No, pain is pain. We all go through things. It doesn't look the same for everyone. Okay. And, you know, and I'm going to address this here because if I didn't and I let it roll, like that's not okay. That's us endorsing that behavior. And I'm not going to endorse that behavior because at the end of the day, like we can only control ourselves. We can't control the environment around us. We can't control what other people do to us. When Broly when he was in jail, he couldn't control what the dudes did to him. They still attacked him every day. He probably suffered some serious physical stuff from that. And what are you gonna say? Like, oh well, he should have done something different so that shouldn't have happened. No, no.
Man.
Honestly, he's right. With myself, he is. I was making bad decisions at that time, which led my family and I to get into dysfunction to the point where it led me to incarceration. Not stating whether my brother was right or wrong for calling the police on me and getting me locked up, I was definitely not doing the right things. For me, in this situation, I can't say for each of you ladies that you had to hold yourself accountable because I don't know the full story of what happened to you ladies. You know what I mean? I do know each situation has a different experience. Her situation, I don't really know what happened, but it was very traumatizing to her, so I can only give her a space to be safe and open about that. Same thing with you as well. I don't really know the full in-depth story to your situation. She didn't really show. The only one that really gave us a lot of the information of what happened is really Opal. And for your situation, that sounds like a very traumatizing situation, especially when you're a young woman, not even a young woman, a girl in school. So, you know.
Yeah, you can't.
I can't tell you to be accountable in these situations where I don't really know. You know, I can't tell you how to feel. I can't tell you what to do with yours.
And you can't tell a person. And I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm so sorry.
You good? You good?
I care about you. I love you, Broly. But you can't tell for all the women that up here, whether we shared our traumas or not, because sometimes we are at different parts of our journey. You know, some feelings are more raw than others and recent than others. But we can't sit there. What happened?
Look at your belly. So
I don't know which belly.
We all got bellies because we eat over here, but we still work out. So, but you can't just tell someone you need to take accountability for your actions. Because I just talked about earlier about victim blaming, and
you can take accountability for your Because as you get older, what I have learned, even in therapy, so we can go through things in life, and he said sympathy. He doesn't have to have sympathy, but he can have empathy. We
Right.
go through things in life for a reason, and it doesn't break us, but it makes us who we are. But as you get older, you do have to have accountability to heal. Because if you don't, you'll take everything that you go through into that next chapter, and it won't make you a better version of yourself.
That's
Yes.
true. But what Eddie Fox is talking about is the fact that what happened to us is we should say that it's partially our fault.
That because she didn't want to talk about it, she brought it up.
So, you know, I said, I don't really like to address comments, but that really rubbed me the wrong way. And I didn't want to endorse that type of thinking because that's that's just basically diminishing our experiences and basically kind of saying like we're liars in some way.
But we're all entitled to our own opinion. Yours just doesn't matter at the moment.
Come on, guys. Don't be mean to the guys, man. Just because we feel the type of way, it's okay. Remember,
We appreciate
even
what
if-
you have to say.
Even if you do not agree with somebody, it's always beautiful to share positive energy. You feel me? And it's okay. And because look. Now watch this, guys. Watch this. This is an example of what I spoke about earlier. When you felt traumatized and bringing it into another situation because you haven't fully gone through, fully gotten over that trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody could trigger you from all around the world.
Yes,
You don't even
a
know.
comment section.
We don't know how this person looks, where they are. Shout out to this person though because they're also supporting. You know
That's
what I
why
mean?
I stated
I
we're
know.
all entitled to our own opinion.
Yes. I'm not knocking that. I'm not knocking that at all. I'm not stopping anyone's
But
opinion.
thank you
here.
for the belly fat. I know I have a few rolls, but we're cutting right now, so it's okay.
I
But-
like what you said earlier about like moving with grace.
Say to the mic, baby girl.
I was saying I like how you said earlier about moving with grace and pouring into others. I find that like when you do that, you actually sort of shift other people's atmosphere, mood, and everything. I do that a lot at work. Like someone will come into work and maybe they're not in a great mood, and so they're trying to rub off on me a certain way, trying to get me out of character. I realize that as long as I continue to move with grace, move with love, in a way, it sort of makes them look stupid because I'm so happy.
Yes. Yes.
And you're you feeling some type of way and you're trying your best to get me out of character.
Yes.
Next thing you know, the same person is gonna walk up to you and ask you how your day is. Or they're gonna be like, just try to start a conversation with you, trying to be your friend. But that definitely works too. So continue to do that.
Yes.
It's so funny.
Absolutely.
My dad always tells me that you still have to pray and still be kind to your enemies or the people that do you wrong, because it with them trying to bring you negativity, and when you fight back with that positivity, it eats them up more. It's like, wow, I can't even really face this person.
What do you
Shout
ladies,
outs to my dad.
What do you ladies think about revenge? Do you think revenge is needed in life? Is that something
No.
that you,
No.
that you?
Karma, I believe in karma.
I believe in
I
karma.
believe in karma so much. Like what goes around comes right back around. Somebody may think, oh, they got away with something, but what?
I believe in pray for your enemies because
And that too.
they don't know. Some people really don't know what they're doing. Some people are going based off of how they're raised or the traumatic experience. So I never fault people for their actions. I literally will pray for you. Like if I feel like your spirit, if I feel like you're attacking my spirit, or I feel like you're moving a way that I don't like, I'll pray for you, and I'll still be kind, because my kindness or my emotions shouldn't be affected based off of how you treated me or how you treated someone else. I'm going to pray for you, and I'm going to tell you I'm going to pray for you, and I'm going to be like, hey, I'm still here for you. I don't know what you're going through at this moment, but just know that I am still here. And some people need that. They need that presence of, hey, dag, I just did this, but someone still cares about me, because people don't have those people to care about them. And you have to always be a vessel, or you have to move different and shift their life so they'll know, like, dag, in this moment, you never know. Somebody could be like, oh, I feel like taking my life. I heard so many people be like, I felt like doing this today, or I felt like doing this today, but you shifted me just by one small, hey, I love you. I tell people I love them and I don't even know them. I love you. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, you're so beautiful. I love you. I want you to know that you are so important. And every day, doesn't matter who it is, I have to be able to do that because it makes me feel better.
See, I agree with that.
agree.
I definitely agree with that. That energy is spreading love, because a lot of times we may think that we don't like people, and then you see a person in the street that's just got into a car accident, you're running over there. You know, you go help them out. You know. What about you, Coco Pone? What are some of your thoughts? You have any questions?
You said about revenge.
Yes.
Yeah. I think revenge can be good. The right type of revenge. You know. Yeah.
Elaborate, King.
Yeah. So
There we go.
yeah,
Come on.
yeah.
Get it in.
So like, all right. So as far as like the example was the former business partner I had. So my revenge was like me being where I am today, like having started my own business now, and is doing better than the business that me and him had. You know, so that's that, and that was a drive in my head every time. Like, yo, I'm gonna show you that I could do this shit 10 times better. You know, and you gon' my revenge was you gonna regret doing that to me. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be like, damn, I wish I didn't move snaky, man. You know?
Is that really revenge or is that growth?
That's why I said revenge is
I
important.
think it's both.
Different. Yeah.
That's why I said revenge is good because it could lead to growth. You know? That's why I also said I say these things, find something. That's my go-to word, because you gotta find a reason to keep going. You know? He's one of the reasons. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna show him. And so many other reasons, my son. But like, revenge could be a reason that you become a better person. You know, growth. You know. So when it's done the right way, it is important. I think there's a good and positive in everything, in every
Healthy
word.
balance.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's fire, Brody. Freaking, I agree with you as well. A lot of times people hurt people, and I find that those people are already hurt. And energy is such a strong, powerful thing.
Yes.
So I don't necessarily need to, because the time that you take to go try to hurt someone, you can actually take that time to work on yourself.
Exactly.
And when the person that's trying to hurt you see how much you grow, that honestly hurts them more.
Yes.
Because they're still in the same stage. So karma, I would say, is the best revenge. Because life has so many things in store for you. So with the energy you put out, that's what you get. If you're putting out snake energy, snake shit is only going to happen to you.
Yes.
You feel me? You're putting out that positive energy, positive stuff is going to happen to you. Sometimes negative things will happen, but then you can turn that into something positive.
Right.
Just because you've been feeding out just straight positive frequency.
Yeah.
So, you know, revenge is the best, is a very good thing, best served with karma.
No,
No, yeah.
I was just gonna say I feel like when you move with pure intentions, you know, you get positive things that happen. You know, when you're genuine in what you do,
Absolutely.
what you put out to
Absolutely.
others, definitely.
Absolutely.
You receive, you know, that back.
Can I say
yeah.
one thing though? Even when you move with positive intention, you still have to do the work in self, because I realized I move different, but I kept trying, like, questioning, why isn't good things happening to me? It's because your words are so powerful. So I was like, goodness, bad things keep happening, because I'm saying that. Even though I'm moving with love and light and pouring into everyone else, I'm not pouring that back into myself. So you also have to do the work in self in order for those things to pour back into you.
Yes, words are spells. Very powerful. We need to rearrange the way that our vocabulary, period, and delete certain words that we use, like try.
Do something.
Yes.
Do something podcast.
There is no such thing as try, especially when you have the urge to make sure you get that done. So any words that lead you to doubting yourself, feeling negative, delete that. Any music that you listen to that makes you feel a little angry, reminds you of any type of trauma in your past, don't listen to that.
Yeah.
Any music that helps you feel happy, blissful, nostalgic, just positive. I don't care if you gotta listen to that same song every day.
Yeah.
Just listen to that.
Speak those affirmations into your life,
Music
everyone out
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
too.
Manifest.
Yes.
What you
Speak
listen
it
to,
because you
Manifest.
will be if
Feed
you
into.
pour it into
Yes.
yourself.
Yes. Ladies, all you ladies live in DC?
No.
Maryland.
Maryland.
Maryland. And you ladies live in Maryland. Maryland. Oh, so all you ladies live in Maryland.
PG County.
This is Maryland or DC?
This is
DC.
DC.
Yeah.
Maryland is
I
like
bought
a-
my house in Pasadena. I'm in all the.
congratulations.
Pasadena's
Congratulations.
I like the nature.
Is Maryland is what, 15, 20 minutes away?
It's kind of, yeah.
Is it?
It's
I
like,
don't know.
Well, where
it's
I'm
like,
going.
it's like
Yeah.
borrowed.
It's like 20. You
Yeah.
said it's 20 minutes.
I'm asking.
Where I'm
Depends
going.
on where
It
you're
depends
going.
where you're going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
How is the dating life in Maryland?
That is funny. On the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Soda.
I would like to know.
Wow.
I don't
Maryland.
date.
You
I'm
know,
just gonna be honest. I don't date. I feel as though
Talk about this feeling.
talk about
okay, I don't date. If we're being honest, I don't date. Even and so many people, I just feel like it's not of God. Like my spirit tells me so much, and I feel like people change, and I hear the same thing, the same saying from everybody, and that's what makes me know it's not of God. They're like, "Oh, I just want to sit in your energy. Your energy is so beautiful." Okay, well, I'm pouring into you, but how are you pouring into yourself? Because I don't care what you can do for me. What do you do for yourself? And if you can't take care of yourself, we can't come together and be a unit. So the way this generation is right now, I don't know what's going on, but I believe that a man is supposed to lead. I am a female, and I'm sorry, but women are very emotional. A man is a logical being. He is very logical. He is supposed to balance out the household. So if we have two emotions, it's not going to work. That's just me. Like the way this life is going, I want my man to lead. I want him to put God first, so that I know no matter what, we're going to always be a team, because wherever you lack, I'm going to pour back into you. And until people have a good understanding of, people don't like when I say this, but being in your place. Sorry. When you learn to listen instead of speak, or listen to understand, that's when you'll work as an item. So that's just my view on it.
I love how you said that. She spoke for me too.
wait,
Because
so
when she said us as females were already emotional, so having two people in the household, that's
But wait. I didn't say men aren't supposed to have emotions, because
No,
my
they
man
are.
better have some emotions to come to this plate, because I
They-
want to hear what he has to say.
they definitely are. But I notice now with how society is going, it's like they're a little more feminine, a little bit more emotional. And you're right, they are. Everyone has emotions, but it's just so hard because
What do you guys mean these guys are emotional?
Or feminine.
Technically, she didn't say feminine. She said emotional.
no, I said feminine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, how are you guys? What do you guys mean by when you say these guys are emotional? Because technically, all humans are emotional.
Okay,
It's like
I
they
was-
don't know how to.
Well, I mean,
who's gonna go first?
Please.
I was just gonna say, first I'm gonna say like where I'm at in my dating journey is similar to Rinnie's, because I've like probably going like almost 2 years now, I decided that I really don't want to formally date men anymore. I want to have an organic weapon, a wagwan.
Speak.
Huh? Weapon?
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I was saying, yeah, formally dating men, you know, just like having more of an organic connection with them.
That
It
didn't
is-
that's not, but that didn't answer my last question. Though.
But no, but it was the first question. But
I know,
but it's
I will
okay.
well, it's gonna get to your turn. It's gonna
No,
get to your
it's
turn. Take your time. Take your time.
Do you want me to answer that?
I will say that I have had some experiences which also caused me to be on this wavelength of men being in their feelings. Not just
But I would like to understand more
What
of
happened?
because
what it means. Yeah.
Yes, women, men, sometimes animals are in their feelings.
Okay.
So I would like to understand a little bit more in depth.
I think
What do you mean by?
I think it'll be better. It would be better if Rennie answered that because
Yes.
she was
Okay,
the one
so
that
like-
stated that.
Yeah,
first.
go ahead.
It says, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing, not she who chases the man around."
That doesn't elaborate. On what
It's
I
about to.
mean.
It's
Okay,
about to.
okay, I'm sorry.
So, I will state that a lot of men now want to be chased instead of pursuing. And in the Bible, it says, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing." So, when a man knows who he wants, he goes after her. But it's a lot of men now, and I'm not being disrespectful because it's not all men. It's a lot of men now who have feminine tendencies because they are raised by women. So sometimes they don't have that understanding of what a man should do. So you can't fully fault everyone. But I would say like a lot of men want you to chase them or they want you to, I'm trying to think of the word without it sounding disrespectful.
I would like you to be as blatant.
Be
I would like you to
honest.
be as blatant as possible. Yes, please.
Sorry, guys. Okay, so
Just do it like Nike. Come on.
Okay. So a lot of men are their feminine ways are more of, let's say, you know how emotional a woman is?
Every woman is emotional.
My point exactly. So some men are I want men to have emotions, but some men can tend to.
Okay, we'll come
Yeah,
back.
come
to
back to me.
We'll come back to
Nah,
it. Because you
Lord.
ladies are saying. Hold on, Opal. Hold on. It's gonna be your turn.
That's okay.
Because it's a way
Yeah,
to
yeah.
word things without it sounding
you went
disrespectful.
first. You agreed to it. So if you don't mind
more
about
feminine?
men being feminine and more emotional. So how are men being feminine? Because I'm pretty sure they're not
I mean,
wearing
what
skirts.
she said about as far as
Or panties and
wanting
stuff.
us to chase them, and then also, how can I say it? Like, okay, so men, y'all, a lot of y'all are very like logical, right? I'm pretty sure y'all know how to control your emotions, and with the emotions and logic, y'all just are men. It's some men out here that they don't know how to, let's say for instance, they get upset about something. And they're making a decision on something. How can I word it?
They move with emotion instead of logic.
Instead
That's
of
just
logic,
basically it.
yes. And
But
like,
how can you make that decision if he's making the decision?
Because, for
if
example-
he thinks it's, you know what I mean?
Because
Like,
the way you're moving, you're not thinking, you're not letting
You're
it
just-
process.
you're just
You're
going.
just acting
can I,
off of
can I have an
emotion.
example, please, so I could be more in detail?
Let's say you and I,
Understand.
let's state that you and I are having a conversation, right?
Yes.
And you don't like the way this conversation is going, so you just get up and you start throwing stuff and you're going to listen to me and this, that, and the third. Okay, for me, because I was raised by men, I know the dynamics of logical thinking and doing things based off of emotion. And when you do things based off of emotion, it could hinder the both of us. So when a man is doing things based off emotion, it can tend to lead to a different path of destruction instead of building an empire together. Because
Right.
I want to listen to what you have to say, but sometimes you have to take a step back to listen so that it won't be a danger to the both of you. You get what I'm saying?
it's like we can't both be
Emotional.
Like sometimes the
No,
men
actually, no, you
need
can't
to.
say that.
Well, I mean, we
That's-
can.
that's-
You can't
okay,
say that.
I didn't mean to say it like
all
that.
humans are
We can
emotional.
both be emotional, but it's a way of like how you react with your emotions. Like with us females, we're gonna be emotions. Yeah, we're gonna be emotional. Yeah, we may cry and feel, do what we do. But then I don't know. I find it sexier when a guy he knows how he's feeling. Instead of just reacting off of impulse, he pretty much, I won't say like sit with himself, but before he react, he thinks about what he's about to do. He's not just doing
But
things based
now that
off
I'm thinking
like.
about it, that's kind of double standards. Now that I'm thinking about this.
Yeah,
But I,
yes.
don't know how
I
to
think-
explain
yeah,
it without
yeah.
feeling like,
Just being honest here because I
sorry.
like to
I'm sorry,
process things correctly. Because
Right.
I'm big on men expressing their emotions. I want a man, even if we're together or we're not, I want a man to be able to express himself and have the clear floor without someone making him feel as though he is not worthy of how his feelings is. So I can't even speak. I have to shut up. I'm sorry. I can admit when I am wrong. It is okay for a man to be emotional, but I will state that it is good for a man to be logical and balance the household. But I am wrong, so I apologize. I want a man to have emotions.
And you
It's
you
not-
mentioned something earlier about you feeling like the men aren't trying to chase women anymore, and I definitely think that was wrong too.
I disagree with that as well.
I definitely disagree with that. I think the problem is women are getting chased too much by men, a lot of men, and when the right guy tries to chase now, she's just like, okay, there's just so many men chasing me, and
I don't need a man in my life.
Yeah.
I just need my
yeah.
career.
Especially now we have
Look at me, I ain't like that.
now we have
I like
Most women are like that nowadays.
most-
now we have
Okay.
social media too.
Yeah.
If you have any woman that has a following is getting crazy chased by men.
It's the accessibility. So what I realize is it's so much accessibility out here and it's so much that's given that it's no longer a requirement. Because me being on social media and me seeing, like, I'm big on, prime example, I have a thing where I don't want to put my butt in the camera. I don't want to shake my butt in the camera. If I squat, my butt's not going in the camera because it's so much accessibility out here, then that's what I'm giving off. And then men are portraying it as in, oh, well, you do this, so da-da-da-da-da. And I never want anyone to say that about me. So when men approach me, it's more of, you look intimidating. You can ask all my friends when we go out, men tell me I look intimidating. I never get, you look beautiful. I get you look intimidating. You look strong. You look this. So it's like,
I'm trying to think because there's multiple things that we're unpacking, and I'm like, which one do I talk about? Because
I don't know the word how to put
For you,
how to
Opal,
put it.
I would like to know why are you single? For you, Opal.
Well, I mean, I want to say that I really, respectfully, I don't like that question because it can be reworded. Because I think that the real question should be like, what space am I in my dating journey? Because sometimes, and I already know you, and we've had conversations. I've had conversations with Goku. But when men ask that question, why are you single? To be honest, I think that they're trying to pick apart what is wrong with you. And really, and I mean, but is it okay?
yeah, it's okay.
I mean,
Because
well,
you never know. Some people can come into your life and want to help.
I don't need
your
help.
imperfections.
I don't
And
need
that's
help.
where-
But no, here's the thing. No, and the reason why, no, I'm not saying I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. But what I said, when it comes to my dating journey, I choose to want to have an organic connection. What that looks like, I'm going to feel it. Just like how you say that God...
require help.
Huh?
That can require.
Okay, so maybe I should retract my statement.
Because you never
Rewind.
You just never know. Like and I'm only saying this because we all have a journey in life. And what you may feel as though, what you may lack, someone else may have so much of and be able to help you without you even knowing.
I totally understand. That's why I said I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. But when it comes to dating, like I am open to meeting men and talking to men, but I've had some very weird experiences with men where they do get in their feelings. I had a man block me because I went to Carnival and was dressed in a Carnival outfit. He blocked me. I'm like, what is going on? But what happened was this was a couple years ago, which was why I was like, man, if men just stop, if I just started kind of on this premise of like, let's just take it one step at a time. Let's not think so hard. Maybe he wouldn't have jumped to this conclusion. Like I realized at the time with that person, we went on 2 dates. I wasn't dating anyone else at the moment. We went on 2 dates, and they were nice dates, and I liked the guy. And I realized that I was reaching out more. Like I was calling and, wanting to FaceTime and communicate, but he wasn't reciprocating. Then I was like, let me see. And this kind of ties into the whole chasing aspect or whatever. I don't mind taking initiative. I don't mind reaching out. Planning a date. I don't even mind even paying for a date if I plan a date. Like I don't mind those things. But at that time with that person, what happened, I realized I was like, okay, I'm gonna kind of fall back because I feel like I'm initiating a lot. And you women want to feel wanted too, just like men want to feel wanted. And so it was like a couple weeks I didn't hear from him. So I decided to reach out. I called him. I was like, hey, what's going on? He was like, oh my gosh, I was really just thinking about you. I'm so sorry that I fell off.
That's where you fucked up at though. That's where you fucked up at though.
What happened?
If he blocked you, why?
No, he didn't block me then. This is what happened. Okay. So sorry. I'm sorry if I'm confusing with the story. So before he blocked me, it was a couple weeks that we didn't talk. And so I reached out to him. And he said, wow, I was thinking about you. I'm truly interested in you. I'm so sorry that I fell off. I was like, well, what happened? He was like, well, I saw when you posted a selfie on Instagram, I felt like you were trying to attract other men. I was like, wait a minute. Everybody posts selfie on Instagram, but you, and this is like, perception is such a huge thing, man. Like I posted a selfie of me going out looking good, whatever selfie it was. I don't know what selfie it was, but he took it as, well, she's trying to attract other men. Now, granted, at that time, I will say it was not considered, quote, a thirst trap, whatever. If you look good and you want to post it, it's your page. Okay, you post it. But for someone to internalize it and decide to not talk to you for weeks because they were feeling so down about themselves. And he actually admitted to feeling like I was lying to him because his previous person lied to him. And so it was just like, oh. And then that weekend after we talked, because I was like, oh, let's get together. Like, I'm available next weekend. The weekend after we talked, it was Carnival here in DC. And I was wearing my little Carnival outfit. And I think when I tried to reach out to him, like via phone and Instagram, I found out I couldn't find him. So he blocked me.
But all the red flags were there.
The red flags was there because actually on the first date, because, like I will say this was me giving online dating a chance for like the 50 billionth time, but it was interesting because you're right. When we did go out on our first date, he did talk about what he just went through and feeling like the last person was very deceitful to him. And for me, I don't like to talk about past relationships on a first date. I like to look at the person as the here and now. I don't want to, eventually I'll hear about your past, but I want to hear about who you are today and where you're going forward. Because talking about the past, yes, we want to know that eventually, but not on the first date.
He needed some more healing.
He did need more healing.
Do y'all believe in like men that have vision?
Men that
have
vision.
Yeah, is that what you
like
guys?
a vision or
A vision. Because I don't think men are supposed to chase women either. I think men are supposed to chase purpose, and then the Most High and the universe will align that man with the right woman to
And
continue that vision and purpose.
that's why it goes back to he who finds a wife finds a good thing. Because it's not about him chasing, it's about it aligning correctly with him.
Yeah. So, but he was chasing his purpose though.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So a man doesn't have to chase, he's going to attract.
Yeah.
When a man is aligned with himself and with his purpose, he's going to attract, but it's going to attract the right way because his wife is going to find him without it even knowing. It's going to align accordingly.
Yeah.
So
I think y'all
And
both are saying the
that's
same thing.
why I am single. I choose to be single to answer your question, Broly. That's exactly why. I feel like when things will align exactly how it should be, as long as you are doing what you need to be doing, your own purpose, alignment is real, just being in a line. I feel like right now I'm in alignment. I'm in a safe space, I'm with beautiful women, I'm with men, we're talking. And as long as you continue to take those steps to move forward to better yourself, better your life, doing what you need to do as far as, staying on purpose, speaking your truth, helping people, things will happen exactly how they should. You're always coming in contact with people. You're always attracting people. Continue to be that higher version of yourself, your best version of yourself, and things will happen for you. That's why I just let God.
And I will second that and to answer your question, I do choose to be single because what happened?
I don't think they can hear me.
No, that was earlier. We're good now. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. I choose to be single because I am chasing my purpose. Last year I got my heart broken. We talked about that. Rinnie knows about that heartbreak. And
How did you get your heart broken?
was it my fault?
How did you get your heart broken?
To be honest with you, because I wanted to take my time to get to know this guy, which I originally said I just really wanted to be friends, and he kept showing up in my life multiple times.
Because you allowed him to?
Because I allowed him to, because he.
let's take accountability.
Well, I mean,
it's all about
what
accountability.
what signs are we talking about?
The signs were there. We first met him.
Okay, so when we first met him, I didn't see the signs. I didn't even see the signs. He looked. Not gonna lie, he was fine. He was fine. At the
that's a
time,
good
but I
sign.
don't know. He was a good liar.
That's a good sign.
To me.
Okay, so I have to be honest with you.
Please be honest
Because
with me.
accountability is something that's big for all of us.
Key.
When we talk to each other, transparency. That stage in your life could have been eliminated if you would have listened to the signs, because they were all there. Even you talking to me during that whole process, every sign was there. From when we first met, we both met him together. When we first met, during the process, when you found out the signs, and when you still stayed there during the signs. So you have to hold yourself accountable.
Very much so.
You can have,
So you broke
could
your
have-
heart.
You broke your own.
You're right. You want to know what?
You broke your own heart.
I had to learn that.
Corinne is, and I'm not gonna knock this, and I just want to say I do have self-awareness on it, because when what happened, and I looked back on it, I was like, dang, like I really wasn't thinking, and then I really was so
Forgive.
I was so I am so forgiving.
As much as I prayed for you in the situation, let's just be honest. Like, I'm big on accountability, because if I'm messing up, I want one of you to tell me, hey, look, this and this is going on. You're messing up.
Honestly
Fix it.
though, that's all that stuff is cute. Real talk. It's on you. It's on me for me to take accountability for myself, so that I won't be in another situation that triggers my emotional or mental instability. So I have to make sure that if I am going to protect my energy anyone that gives me these red flags, that minute, that second you do that, it's over.
And
We
you
don't-
know,
we don't-
they
we don't-
show it
we don't-
immediately.
Exactly. And right then
It's
and there,
always
it's over.
like, whether they say something, that's why I'm real big on listening too. Listening, just everything is right there. The first time you meet, you hang out with somebody, they're gonna show you their true colors,
did,
like right there. Whether
I
it's something
did.
small or
Sorry,
big, you will
I
see the
did.
red flags.
At that, listen,
I-
at that
yeah, I
time,
was-
at that time, when you see the red flags and you leave that situation, if you don't hold yourself accountable and you stay in that situation, that's your fault. On top of that, when you have the most pure intentions, when your intentions are for yourself to grow, it doesn't necessarily have to be your job. Because for some people, they might not have a job that's passionate. Their passion could be love. Let me finish, please. So while pursuing that passion of love, you can definitely grow in a way for you to have the right people around you. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's one of the most greatest energies. So it doesn't necessarily have to be someone that you're intimate with. It could be friends. It could be family. It could be strangers. But you have to understand that these people that come into your life are going through a specific interview process. That you're able to skim out the people that you want, take the good and leave the bad. You understand what I'm saying? So you made yourself.
So I will
You
say,
hurt
and
yourself.
I agree with that, and Rinnie for calling out. I know at that time when I got heavily involved with my emotions with the person, I was healing from my hip surgery. So I was like out of commission for a while. I was very vulnerable. He came in at a vulnerable moment. So when I found out the truth of things happening, I'm not gonna lie, my self-esteem was like in the trash, okay? Last year, like when you work out and you are on your stuff and then you can't do anything for 6 months and then you gain 30-40 pounds, and then you have this person here who's showing up for you and all this stuff. It was a vulnerable moment. So when I found out that the person had lied to me, I was so hurt and I didn't love myself enough. I was willing to make it work with them. It was really bad. And but honestly, I learned so much from that experience last year. To be honest, when you talked about your idea, your revenge, my revenge was getting in the gym and becoming a body. I'm dead serious. Like me doing body. What'd you say, baby? No, I didn't. That's what I was saying. Like, okay. So she was just saying I still went back to him. Yes, that's what I mean. Like when I said I was still trying to make it work. And he was still lying to me. He was going to lie till the wheels fell off, honey
All
bunny.
the red flags.
All the
have
red
been
flags. And
raised.
even after the red flag showed itself, I was so like, because I liked him so much as a person.
No, you didn't.
And I didn't, I don't know, babe. I don't know. I don't
we
know.
can't- we
But
can't-
I was in a
you
vulnerable
can't say she didn't like
place,
him,
you know
bro.
what I mean?
It sounds like she was in
This
lust
person met my
more than-
parents.
'cause if
He sat down with my parents.
that's a
and
decision that
everything.
you made.
Well, I had no
He
choice
didn't.
because
He
he
did not.
did not.
He did not
He did not.
figure out where they live and just sneak up on them, and they opened the door for him.
Right.
You invited him in that situation, even though all these red flags were
No,
there.
actually, I didn't see the red flags
been
at
in
the
a
time. After the
situation-
red flags came.
I've been in a situation just like you, and it happened this past year. And people like that, what they'll do is they'll try to get close. Like you know a very little about them, but when it comes to you, they'll know you're telling them so much and you're so open with them that they could use everything that you tell them to make you feel like a bad person. And it took me, I was heartbroken too, and it took me literally, we didn't even talk for so long, so I don't even know why it took me so many months to move on. I don't know what it was. I really don't. I don't know what it was. But what really helped me was honestly time and just remembering my worth.
Yep.
Like that's the biggest thing. I had to constantly remember my worth because he did some crazy stuff to me too, and I constantly took this person back. And then, it came to a point where like I was not gonna take you back again. Like I had to remember my worth, and it hurts. But as the days go by, it's gonna still hurt, and all you can do is just let the days go by and heal, and just continue to be around family. Like Ty knows about this. Like I was like hurting, like boohoo crying, like still took this person back. Like
can't
a
help who we
idiot, and
Listen.
just thinking
Listen,
like
ladies.
this person is going to change, and this person never changed.
Listen. People do change.
People
But-
do change,
but-
but he didn't, and I shouldn't have, kept taking him back after he showed me multiple times that he's
Once
still
you
the
see
same
Once
person.
you see a red flag,
He's a good liar
Once
and
you see a
manipulator.
red flag, then you should just get out the window. Get out the
Right.
door.
And that's what I do now.
Hold yourself. Because you ladies was just speaking about protecting your energy. In the beginning of
Mm-hmm.
this conversation, we spoke so highly about how important it is to protect your energy. What are you doing to protect your energies
Can
then?
I say
It took me to have to go through all of that in
Can I
order
please
to
finish?
learn how to
Can I
protect
please
my
finish?
energy.
I understand that. But before we go through these situations, and after we go through these situations, because we are all still in an environment where we're learning and are single. So what are we doing to continue to protect our energy so that when we do meet the people that are good for us, that we are allowing them in and staying vulnerable? Because I understand that you were vulnerable in the moment, or you were vulnerable in the moment. Vulnerability is one of the best things for you to be able to grow. That's the fastest way for you to be able to grow and learn. So if you're going to learn anything, you have to submit and be vulnerable to take in information.
Well,
So
To answer your question, actually, it didn't even take me till that situation to protect my energy, because I thought I was doing that before. Now I have more discernment. That's the thing. Discernment is really big, because sometimes, like, you think you like, how can I explain it? Like, just making those decisions that are like, just listen to your intuition and making decisions based off, how you're feeling and your intuition all together. So it's really just using discernment, because even before that situation, I was protecting my energy. This person came into my life, good game, saying the right things, fine, and it's been a while since I had actually talked to somebody, because I'm always like to myself in my own space. So, I also opened up and gave somebody a chance. It was new energy. It was just, everything was new. I hadn't gone through this before. So I would just say, like, just using discernment and trusting your gut feelings, and not overthinking and overanalyzing, and just freaking one red flag. That's it.
Can I give a scenario here? Just really quick. Let's say that you're in a relationship. Say that the relationship is 6 years and something happens. How do you know whether, because I would say this, every chapter of your life is different. You grow as you go. You're never the same person. So how do you know if you're supposed to stay or if you're supposed to move? Because yes, it's protecting your energy, but let's say you have a child. How do you know whether this is a lesson, test, or you're supposed to move on? Because you can't go based off of everyone's situation is different.
To me, well, you can talk.
Go ahead, buddy.
For me, I think I just think of purpose and vision. That's when you would know, like, okay, cool. This ain't where it's going anymore. Or I could still continue. This is all about the vision and purpose. Even if you have a kid with the person, it's like, are we still going to be growing according to the purpose and the vision we're having? Or to me, when there's no vision, that's where everything changes. Unless the true unconditional love is there. That's when,
I like how you said that. Thank you.
true unconditional love.
There is no way a woman could love a man unconditionally.
What?
There is no way a woman. There is no way. I'm sorry. The only love that a woman can give to a man is love, but it's not gonna be unconditional. Unconditional love is only given to the child that she births.
I can't.
Wait, why do you? I was just gonna ask, why do you feel like that? Why do you? Yeah.
There is nothing a man can do that can compare to your child.
E.
Well, yeah, but
I
you said-
E. Wait. I E. You can't You can't speak that for
if he
everyone.
cheats on
though.
you, if he cheats on you, in 6 years, 8, 9, 10 years, there's a possibility you're gonna want to leave him.
No, that's not
Can I
true
fin- can
because
finish,
I
please?
stayed.
Can I finish? Can I finish, please? Can I finish, please?
Yes.
I'm not
Let me
saying-
finish, please.
I'm not saying that you're not gonna stay, but you're gonna contemplate leaving.
No,
Okay.
I didn't contemplate leaving. Actually, because I know that it had nothing to do with me.
I'm not unpacking that situation because I don't know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that in many situations, in relationships with a man and a woman, it doesn't matter 15, 20 years. There's a guy that broke up with his wife and they were in their 80s and he found out that she cheated on him when she was in their 30s.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not knocking that, but I know that as a child, I got locked up. I could do mad things. You could even become gay. You could go do you could do something totally opposite of what your parents believe, and your mother a lot of times will always be there. If a guy if a guy beats you up, if your child beats you up, you're still trying to work with. There's kids that beat their parents, that beat their mothers, and they're still working with them. If the man does that, he's most
I
likely
think
gone.
Honestly,
And I'm just stating that.
That's I would say that's an opinion because I've seen so many women stay and
That doesn't-
fight.
That doesn't matter.
I would
don't
say
think that
I agree to disagree. So I agree with you as far as the unconditional love a mother has for the child can never be comparable to the unconditional love a
Exactly.
woman can have for a man. I do believe that a woman can have, some women, only a few though, can have unconditional love for some men out there.
I can agree with that too.
Yeah.
I agree. That's what I want.
Women-
I want
women-
my husband to have unconditional love for me, or whoever I'm with. You know, if I'm with you for years, if I was to go through something traumatic and like what you went through as far as the surgery, if I had to have surgery like that, I would want the person I'm with to love me unconditionally, even if I end up in a wheelchair or something, because it would be the same with me. Like, I know how to love, and that's another reason why, like, I choose to stay single, because not everybody really knows what love is. Not everybody
Yes,
knows how to
Jasmine.
love.
I'm
And-
sorry. Wait, guys, I'm sorry. Our stuff is, we're gonna have to end this live soon, guys.
Okay.
I know we've having a very deep conversation. We can finish the conversation after and possibly on another day of the podcast. Thank you all for being on today's podcast.
Thank
of course, I appreciate you guys.
You're welcome.
Please, let's go around saying what type of platform you have, what's your platform, and how they can reach you so that they can
So
follow
you guys can find me on Instagram